I'm going to admit to something that a lot of engineers do, but won't say out loud. I do my own individual work during certain meetings. For example, the 1.5 hour story review and validation meeting. And I'm 100% sure that that is the right call. The actual situation at work is that I'm in a new SRE team and we have weekly review and weekly demo to the team. And this is scheduled for 1 hour, but I see a lot of times it really goes over and it becomes 1.5 hour. We are a 12, 13 people team, and it really takes a lot of time, right, to go through all each person's stories that they have completed. A lot of the stories that they completed are from more experienced senior engineers. And seeing their screenshots and providing the evidence and seeing the demo don't really connect all the dots for me personally. And actually, I don't get to follow completely of what they're saying because I don't have the exact background for the application, for the pattern, and for the implementation and the design choices that they execute. And I find that if I really listen in and try to follow it as best as I can, I really lose that 1.5 hour of time and that I couldn't make progress or learn on my own stories. And this really, really used to frustrate me because I know there's nothing that I can do. So, how do I decide that when I should fully listen in or do my individual work? When it's actually my story being reviewed, I am completely and totally present. When it is the work that kind of directly relates to me, meaning, for example, if someone else is working on a resiliency automation pattern that they have completed it and they just validated the evidence, I will go ahead and listen in because I'm also need to work on this as my story. But on the other hand, if it is a deep dive, a deep validation of someone else's work that I'm not directly involved in, I stay reachable, but I focus on my own work. And I began to see that the real skill becomes that for me to decide when a meeting is really requires my full attention or a meeting when I can focus on my individual work. A while back in my past video, I defended that meetings are really provide the context for us where AI cannot provide. But now I've grown to realize that not all meetings are like this. The early career trap might be treating or seeing every single meeting as equally important. But the caveat is, and the real skill is finding the balance and finding out which meeting or which are the more important ones and which we can leverage to do our individual work in. I am totally present. I completely stop what I'm doing if my name comes up. I want it to be available and maybe even ask a question of reminding me what the context is or what the question is being asked. It really comes down to being very intentional about my attention and not completely checking out or just be distracted. Our attention is a resource and we need to prioritize or know the difference. Learning to know which meetings needs us, it's actually a skill that nobody teaches. Let me know if you actually do your own work during meetings.